Today we're going to be looking at Unit 5 parts of similar triangles. Let's start off with some theorems. So Theorem 311 says if two triangles are similar, the lengths of the corresponding altitudes are proportional to the lengths of the corresponding sides. So our altitudes are right here in the middle. Our next theorem we have is Theorem 312. Theorem 312 says that if two triangles are similar, the length of corresponding angles bisectors are proportional to the length of the corresponding sides. Our next theorem that we have is Theorem 313. If two triangles are similar, the length of corresponding medians are proportional to the length of the corresponding side. And then our last theorem that we're going to be dealing with in this section is an angle bisector in a triangle separates the opposite sides into two segments that are proportional to the length of the other two sides. So let's take a look at our first example. So our first example, in the figure, triangle MNP is similar to triangle XYZ. Find the value of X. So we want to find this value of X right here. So we know from this that MF and XG are corresponding medians. So NP and YZ are corresponding sides of the similar triangles MNP and XYZ. Because MF and XG are the medians of the triangles, we know that NF equals FP. We know that this makes it so they're equal. And we also know that YG equals GZ. So we're going to use this to set up our proportion. So NP over YZ. So NP over YZ, our corresponding sides, equal our medians, MF over XG. So plug in what we know. So we know that NP, well, if this is X, this is also going to be X. So it's going to be 2X over YZ. This is 12. So this is also going to be 12. So 12 plus 12 is 24. Equals MF is 18. XG is 27. Cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, we end up with 54. X equals 432. Divide by 54. Divide by 54. We end up getting X equals 8. Let's take a look at our next example. So in this one, we're going to use the triangle angle bisector theorem. So we want to find the value of X for this triangle. So that's this whole length right here. So because FJ is the angle bisector of triangle FGH, we're going to use the angle bisector theorem. So the angle bisector theorem gives us that GJ divides JH equals FG over FH. So plug in what we know. So this is going to give me 12. This is going to give me X minus 12. This is going to give me 30. And this is going to give me 25. So I can cross multiply this out. When I cross multiply this out, I get 12 times 25 equals 30 times X minus 12, which is 300 equals 30X minus 360. add 360 to both sides. That gives me 660 equals 30. X divided by 30. X equals 22. So we have 4 new theorems for this lesson. Go ahead and review through the theorems. Write a quick summary for the theorems and what we've covered in the 2 examples.